No.
Stonehill, like, start up here. I know they were D3, it's new to D1. You and I have chatted about this before. How important is it for established programs like this one to be willing to play teams, these independent Division I, whether they're startups or like Anchorage and Fairbanks that are renewing their D1?
Well, I think it's really important. Obviously, we want those programs to survive, and their non-conference schedule, especially in the second half of the year, gets harder for them, right? Because we're all in conference play. So this opportunity presented itself. It worked out from a date-wise, too, trying to find teams. And David Berard's now coaching. He wasn't coaching before, but and I was told by a number of people you shouldn't play them. I'm like, I really don't care what those people think. I think it's important for us to play those teams, and they want to play. So that's why we scheduled it. And I don't know, watching them a little bit last night against Lake State, another older team is going to come in here and work. So it's like I told our guys, you know what, everybody's good in college hockey. Anybody can beat anybody. So we need to have a good mindset, right? It starts there. So we'll see what happens, but no, it's important. It's very important, I think, for us to give those teams opportunities. I wish there was more opportunities in the second half for teams to, you know, have space in their schedule to give those teams more games.
You played good teams to find out more about yours. What do you think you found out?
We're not anywhere good enough defensively, and that's number one. I think it starts there, right? We don't clean up that, not just the defensive zone, but just all over the rink, and protect the middle of the rink. You know, and again, Minnesota is probably one of the best teams we're going to play. One of the top teams, certainly, talent-wise, transitionally, and we didn't make it hard on them. We certainly fed their transition with turnovers and just poor structure, and so we're getting back to work on. Let's just start with one area. Let's play better defensively. Let's think differently. Our mentality has to change. You know, there's a lot of 50-50 pucks, or pucks we're not possessing that we're thinking the wrong way, getting caught on the wrong side of people, and it just, against a team like that, you see what happens, right? And but I can say that probably against any team, you know. Some teams are going to make you pay or score more goals, but they're still going to get chances if you play that way. So we've got to tighten up defensively, no question. That's number one. Number two, obviously, by doing that, hopefully we can play with the puck more, which we just got to get more connected. We got to get more connected, certainly, in all those, in all three zones, I think. So, but we're really trying to focus a little bit more on the defensive part this week to hopefully lead to transition and maybe a little bit more offense.
Did you see improvement in your group from Friday to Saturday this past weekend?
Yeah, I thought we were a much better team Saturday. Certainly had an opportunity to take the lead early, and you know, again, I'm not about moral victories. I thought our first period was pretty good. I thought, you know, the third goal was a bad line change. Not sure what we were doing there, but it's 2-1 game. We certainly had opportunities to tie the game, and you know, even in the third period, we had a post and we had some chances. But yeah, it was better. I mean, obviously, Friday was the first period. I hope was an anomaly because that was ugly. I thought our last, you know, two periods were better, and I thought Saturday was decent. It's not anywhere good enough to beat a team like that, but I thought for the most part it was better.
From what you've seen, how does the style of Stonehill plays compare to what you've seen so far?
No, you know, they work extremely hard. They come at you hard forecheck. They remind me a little bit of Lowell, you know, in some respects. But again, we saw a Minnesota team that's skilled that played hard, right? Everybody plays hard, you know, but they're an older team. You know, they've picked up some transfers, and again, it's a startup program. they're a team that's probably goes into every game, you know, there's no pressure on them, right? They probably play free and they come at you, and they split with Lake Superior State, and, you know, watching the games, I don't think there's anything like, wow, like, but I can tell you that they get on top of you, especially on the forecheck, and neutral zone is like a lot of teams, but offensively, you know, they're not Minnesota, but that doesn't mean they're not going to generate opportunities if we don't play tight defensively. So I've only watched some clips, Zach. I've been so focused on picking out things for our team that I think our team is more important right now, and how we need to play better in the areas we need to get better at, no matter who you're playing.
A lot of mistakes that have happened early in the season are correctable mistakes. Are these mental things, physical things? How do you view the majority of what's happening?
A little bit of both, I think. You know, puck battles are the physical, mental, like how hard you want to compete. But we're getting caught on the wrong side. We're guessing a lot, like instead of just playing above people, or, you know, just not taking a chance, right? Like, I'll give you an example. Our D are coming down the boards, and they're, instead of just being in front of the guy, knowing he might chip the puck to the middle, we're coming down sideways, they chip, and the guy's past you, right? Just little things, getting caught on the wrong side of people, not winning enough battles. And then, you know, just with the puck, we're not quick enough to make the play. Like, we're making the hardest play on the rink. And so you got to simplify that stuff. So when you say that they are correctable if guys will adhere to it, some of the physical stuff is going to probably still keep going on, because, you know, we got some younger guys that are going against some older, mature guys, but sometimes you got to play differently. Like, I'm not going to ask a 5'8" guy to go win 10 battles against a 6'4" guy, but you can compete in those battles, and you can do things differently. You can stay in battles, you can take different angles, you can pressure, there's different body positions, probably the biggest thing. So there's ways to do it, but you still have to have that compete level, right? I was very impressed with Minnesota, how quickly they got to space and got back pressure, and because they want to play an offense. You know, it's kind of like the Avalanche, right? They check for offense, right? They pressure, so they can go the other way and play an offense. And that's kind of how I felt with Minnesota, right? And you make a little mistakes against those teams, and we're going to see more of those teams. Usually nothing good comes from it, right? And we kind of found that out, you know, this weekend.
The power players struggled to start the year. Obviously, Max is not being there. Get past that, but
Not enough intensity, not enough pucks to the net. You know, just sometimes I think early in the year, you know, you play, you do score some goals, you get some success. Sometimes they just think it's going to come easier, which is not the right mindset. Like, you got to keep the intensity. Good puck movement, good puck support, but you still got to get pucks to the net. Like, you probably heard me say this 24 years out of now the 25th, like, especially get pucks to the net. Like, you win a face-off, let's get a puck to the net. There's plays you run off face-offs, right? Sometimes it's going to be a flank shot, right? Sometimes it's going to be a down-low play. It's the same thing early on a power play, because you get them into retrievals, and you get them out of structure, and then you can maybe play a little more of the hockey with some of the guys we have. But when you just keep moving it around the outside, like, we haven't had a good net presence either, especially the first unit. You know, they all want to play kind of around there, but so again, things that you got to just keep working on, keep harping on, and hopefully it clicks.
You talk about your second and third efforts in those battles. You might not win them every time. What did you think about those second and third efforts this past weekend?
Not very good Friday. Not good enough Saturday. It's not good enough. Like, this game's a competitive game, and you got to work and you got to compete. Those are two areas that doesn't guarantee you win, but it helps you have success, more success. you know, because to me, you got to be engaged in the game, you know. And those are ways to do it, right? Whether you're back pressure and whether you're like, I'll give you an example offensively. Like, you know, we get a puck in and we got one guy on, and then two guys are retreating. Like, how do you sustain pressure when you're backing off, right? You got to have better rotations. You know, you got to play above pucks, good stick detail, those things, right? It's a lot of it comes down to the details, and some of it's communication. Some of our guys are still learning each other a little bit. You know, we had some different lines, and it's not an excuse. It's just that's why you communicate. Communication helps a lot of things. You know, you talk on the bench, you talk on the ice. It helps, right? Doesn't make everything perfect, but it helps.
Besides the defensive side of the game that you're focused on, was there anything specifically that you felt like Minnesota really exposed about you guys and you want to make sure you nail down this weekend, or just things to happen?
Yeah, they're a hell of a transition team. We knew that coming in, but again, we fed their transition, you know. Even when we forecheck, we didn't put pucks in where we could get pressure. We throw it to the goalie, or we just throw it in. You know, we didn't get pucks in behind people when we had to. We didn't get exits when we needed to. And part of that, they had a lot to do with that because they were on top of you with good stick detail. You know, there's teams in our league that do the same thing. And so, like, when you get pucks, like, how many times did we not get pucks out, right? Soft plays, flippy plays, you know, like, sometimes you just got to take an icing if you're struggling, right? I don't want to take an icing, but sometimes you have to. But you got to get the puck an inch out over the blue line from your D zone. I don't care how you do it. Skate it, pass it, chip it, flip it. You can't make soft, flippy passes, and then you get hemmed in again. And some of that came from, again, if our structure is better defensively, I'm hoping it's going to help with exits because guys are going to be maybe in better positions to make those plays if they have to, or know where people are more consistently. And but the soft plays are killing us. I mean, defensive zone, giveaways in the offensive zone, hope passes, like we're a better team than that, and we've got to find a way to get back to making better plays.
I know Bruce asked a little bit about it. You mentioned that you felt like you have to get better. But you said a couple weeks ago that you feel like with this group with so many shooting lines and pairings and new guys that teachers are going to be the best teams for you guys. Were there specific things that you thought, oh, well, that was a positive from
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's clips that we'll show that are real good. Like, you know, clips of us playing fast, doing the right things, right? Coming out of our end, entering zones, you know, even offensively, you know. Yes, there's always good. It's easy to throw out the bad, but, you know, this is what it should look like when you're doing good things, right? This is what it shouldn't look like, right? And you have to, as a player, you have to see both of them, right? And I still think, you know, we're going to get better with that too, and with, you know, what our guys need to see, and, you know, putting that into work and practice, and you know, and now we've got a little bit of a sample size, and again, like, some things have become a little bit more of a trend, which I don't like, and then there's some things that we need to trend the other way that I think we're all going to like. So hopefully we take a step this weekend. That's what I'm looking for. Try and take a step to get better in a couple areas. And this isn't one leap, just giant leap. Some of it's baby steps. And unfortunately, we've learned, you know, through not winning, losing. But I got a strong belief in this group. It'll get better. I guess I got to be a little more patient.
You talked about shuffling lines, and obviously not having Max is affected, but we want to do things up front. How difficult is the balance for you between you've got to give these guys a chance to gel, and this particular line isn't working, you have to try something else?
Well, there's been some guys that have been given opportunities that haven't performed probably to the level we thought, so that means some other guys are going to get a chance. Do I think Zam should be in the middle of the ring? Yes. But for now, he's not. And I think he played better Saturday. I think, again, when you play in the middle of the rink, you have center tendencies, and Cal had the same thing when we moved him to wing. Wasn't they were doing anything wrong, they just have center tendencies to maybe be down low or be in a position that if you're a winger, you know that's the center's job, right? So, but I thought they both got better. But no, I mean, you got to have some guys playing better, Bruce. Like there's some guys that need to. Like going into the year, we thought these guys, they have to be good. And right now, a couple guys are struggling with some things that they're doing, and there's some other guys waiting in the wings, right? And when Max comes back, it makes it even more difficult, right? So, you know, I brought up Harper Bentz, right? He didn't play, but you know, I can say that about Trevor too. Like every day he's working, right? They're putting themselves in a position that they're ready to play if somebody's not. They're not sitting back here like, oh yeah, I'm okay with this. No, they're pushing. And you know, it's hard because you know, you got numbers. You know, Will was gone last week. He's skated today. He was still coming off a little bit of a sickness, but he's back skating today, so he's back in the mix. You know, so I don't know. The players kind of they decide that a little bit too, right? They decide where you should be, right? So that's a good problem to have, but we still need more out of some guys.
I'll just go quick. Talk about Guy's performance between Friday and Saturday. What you like from him, and other things you'd like to see from him.
Probably aside from 2 or 3 goals, I thought he played great. Didn't get much help. So I don't care if you're Patrick Waugh or Marty Brodeur, you got to have some help. And you can't give up backdoor tap-in goals or 2-on-1 goals and things like that, or opportunities like we gave up against your goaltender. So again, it goes back to let's play better in front of them, right? And then hopefully we can score and give him some run support. But I thought he did a good job, and again, hopefully it makes him work harder too, because he wants to be better too.
Feels like this when you play big opponents like Minnesota early in the year, but is there a blend in the message to the group or to the community that yes, there's urgency to get this ship going in the right direction, but we're also only 5 games into this? Is there a mix in the message that this is still a process, or is the group kind of accepting of that at this point in the year?
Well, I want to accept that I want it to change, right? I want these guys to feel winning. I want them to experience that. I don't care for me. I want these guys to feel that. And whether it's a great game, winning an ugly game, it doesn't matter. Like, you got to get that feeling, you got to get that, but you got to play better. Like, we got to get our guys, this team to play better. That's my job. That's my job as a coach. We got to get them to play better. We got to identify areas, work on them, get them on the right page, get them playing better. It's a good group. I don't think we're as far off as, like, you can look at the record, I don't really care about that, but I want these guys to I don't want them to accept losing. This isn't about moral victories, this isn't about anything, this is about playing the game the right way and finding ways to win. And I do think we have a group that's going to find that way. We have to get better in a few areas. Like, some guys are finding out college hockey is hard. And we have some older guys that are finding out college hockey's hard. And as a group, we have to embrace that, and we have to compete harder, and play more connected. It's that simple. Like, winning, Bruce, you're going to hear me say it, winning isn't always pretty. Most of the times it's not. Everybody wants it to be, but case in point, our win against Lowell wasn't pretty. We won. It's a good road win. But, yeah, no, we're not happy with it. I mean, these kids have pride. They're here. They all want to win a national championship. You know what? We're a long ways from that right now, but this is what you have a season for. And if we go through this and get better from it, then that's a positive. If we go through it and don't learn from it or don't get better, and again, I'm not talking wins and losses, I'm just talking better as a team, then I misread our group. I think this group will get better and they'll be in good shape in time.
Do
But
you feel like some of the struggles with some of the players are as a mental block?
you'd have to ask them. Probably, I don't know. I'm not going to get into answering that. Like, that's, if you think you know of a few players that aren't playing good, you ask them that question. You do it for me.
Or back to you, Coach.
So,
Thanks.
yep.
Joey, what do you think as a group? I mean, Friday to Saturday, it seemed like things got a little bit better, but from the weekend as a whole, what do you take away from that series against Minnesota?
I think for sure just we got to be able to start games better. I don't know if it's been 3 or 4 games in a row now where we've been chasing pretty early on in the first 5 minutes or so. Obviously, Friday was a little more dramatic in that sense where we were down pretty big pretty quick. And so I think we're just looking internally to figure out what we can do as a group and as individuals to be ready the first puck drop.
Scott's talked, not just this series, but this whole season, about the defensive side of things feeling a little bit disconnected. Do you feel that as a group? What's the goal? I guess, how does it feel more connected as we go forward?
Yeah, I think obviously that's been a big point we've worked on this week, and a lot of it does come down to communication, being familiar with who you're playing with, and then the big thing's trusting that your partner's going to do the right thing, your center's going to help you down low, your partner has to trust you're going to make the right decision, be able to close quick on an offensive player, and so yeah, I think it's a combination of a lot of different things that we're close on and we show sometimes, but it's just being able to do that consistently is what we need.
I'm sure you don't care who you play with, but what was it like getting a chance to be paired there on Saturday night?
Yeah, obviously it's pretty fun. Yeah, like you said, I'll play with anyone. I'm happy to play with anyone, but me and Aaron are probably pretty close, obviously. We've known each other forever, and we live together now, and so that's pretty special when we get to be out there together for a full game.
Scott just said for this group, it feels like it's important to learn how to win, right? To get the feeling of winning. Going into Stone Hill, what's the message among the group that this, we get out of this, it really doesn't have to be pretty.
Yeah, for sure. I think we're not as worried about them as we are about ourselves right now, and just looking ourselves in the mirror and what we can do to win hockey games here. We know they're going to push and they're going to be working hard to get us on our game, like off our game. So for us, it's just I think it comes down to a lot of different little things that we need to work on and we're going to be better at. And like he had said, just getting the feeling of winning in this room is really important for us right now, and it's got to happen pretty quick.
What were your thoughts about Adam behind you all weekend? It could have been a lot more exciting.
Yeah, for sure. We hung him out to dry pretty much, and we felt bad about that, but he made some big timely saves as well. Late in the game Friday when we were making that push, and throughout the whole weekend, we know we have in him, and we trust him back there every game, and so that's pretty special to have for us right now too.
Talk about how important it is to get
Yeah, obviously they're a good team. They're really good. They transition the puck well, and I think just we've seen that before with some of the teams in our league too. But with so many new guys, it's important to play against a team that's that skilled, and they put the puck in the back of our net when we make mistakes. And it's what good teams have done to us the last couple of years. And so it's just being able to limit those mistakes and not turn one mistake into more than one.
Is this week kind of, you find yourself more into film studies being that you've never seen Stonehill before?
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, we're looking a lot more at ourselves right now and what we can clean up in our own end of the rink, because that's going to translate to anyone that we play against, just being able to close on guys quick and get over D-zone quick. And so for us, we obviously don't know totally what to expect from them, but we know that we have what it takes in our room, and so our focus right now is us.
Collectively, is the challenge bigger? Physically? Is it mentally? Is it both?
I think it's mental, a lot of it. It's definitely physical, and some of it comes down to just hard work, but I think we know we have a lot of skill and a lot of compete and a lot of grit in our room, because we should see that in practice day in and day out, and it's just being able to translate that to Friday and Saturday nights that we are focused on right now.
Do you feel like you're able to put your finger on the mental block that is with some of the guys or yourself, or what that looks like for this group so far?
I think, I don't know, and we're talking about that as a leadership group and as a whole team right now, but it's just making sure guys are asking questions if they do have them, and not playing scared. Everyone has played in a lot of big hockey games on our team, whether it's been here, whether it's been in high school or junior. And so I think we have what it takes in our room, and it's just going out and playing, and obviously remembering our systems and working on those systems, but just not playing afraid to make mistakes or afraid to mess up. It's just playing hockey, because that's what we know how to do, and that's what a lot of guys in the room can do at a really high level.
And with winning, of course, comes confidence. So how else do you create that confidence when you play such contrasting opponents in this last stretch?
Yeah, we've had definitely a mix. We obviously had the Bemidji game, just one real game, I guess, that weekend, so that was a little different. Then we got the first road trip under our belt, which is always good experience for everyone. It's a fun time for us. We love being on the road. Those are just fun memories we make in the airport and hotels. And then obviously a big series at home against a really fun team, and those games against the Gophers in North Dakota and St. Cloud, the times this place is packed, that's the most fun we have here, and we enjoy that. And obviously it wasn't a great weekend for us on the scoreboard, but just getting that experience under our belt, being able to play in front of that, that's what we appreciate and don't take for granted every day.
As an older person, is the fun what you remind this group of, that, hey, let's have fun so we play?
Yeah,
Feel that?
yeah, for sure. We know winning's fun. We know losing isn't fun. We hate to lose. Obviously, we're off to a tough start in those categories, but it is still early. That's what we're keeping our perspective on now. We can't change what happened that last weekend anymore, but we can focus on what's to come and what's going on right now in practice. And so I think that's important. And yeah, we know we have work to do, but we can still have fun throughout that process and enjoy that process, not get as caught up in what has happened in the past.
For you individually, what have you been focused on over the past couple of years as just as a player to go from that seventh defenseman to extra skater, and now you're been in the top six and getting more regular shifts as you've gone forward?
Yeah, I think for me it's been experience. It's been playing with a lot of really good players that have helped me out, and being able to ask questions to those guys, asking questions to coaches. And I think for me it's not getting too caught up in if I'm the extra skater or if I'm up in the lineup. I'm going to approach things the same way each day in practice and each day in the game. So yeah, I just try and play my game. I think I know what that is. I work on things that I know I need to improve on. But I try not to focus on that as much as just where I'm on the line chart, because I think I'll be able to make effective plays and help our team win in ways that maybe other guys can't, regardless of where I am in the lineup.
Did Galley scoring 3 seconds later ease the sting a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. Obviously, yeah, I would love to have a goal or two here. But yeah, that felt good to get one right there after. I don't know what happened. Zam said it didn't cross the line, but we'll see.
Did you think about shooting when you got the puck back on the redraw?
Yeah, kind of. The first one, it was funny, their whole bench and everyone was just screaming like focus on Galley and get out to Galley to block that shot on the first one, and so that's why I kind of thought I'll have time here. If we do win the face-off clean, and Dom's been so good at that all year, we got both those pucks back, and so when we're able to win draws, especially in the offensive zone, good things will happen, whether it's me or someone else. Yeah, thank you guys.